Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. Hope you enjoy another one of these Bob Ross ones. So I've just wet the paper, both sides, and I've just stretched it. So now I'm just taking off the excess moisture from off the edges to minimise any form of runbacks. This one's called Graceful Mountains. So here we go, that's the mountains dried off. A simple sketch to begin with. Cobalt blue French ultramarine with just a hint of burnt umber, just to grey it slightly. Just painting around the dried off mountains. Bring it over the tree, it doesn't matter. I'm using a dagger brush for this, but you can use any brush that you feel comfortable with, a round one or a flat one. Just keeping the edges clean. And with an even thicker mix of this same colour, we're going to drop in some patches of colour just to help break the flat sky wash up. Where this tree is, we will just take out where the foliage is. Okay, now we'll leave that to dry. Once your sky's dried, we can just bring in the shadow side to these mountains. So I'm just using some clean water and we'll just put some shadows in. I do have the board laying flat. If you prefer to put it at an angle, that is completely up to you. Scrumble some down here. With the same colour as your sky, cobalt blue, French ultramarine and burnt umber, a little bit in. I've just added some sepia just to send it down a little bit further so it's just a little bit greyer. I do want this weak, so I'm just adding a tiny bit of water to it. Softening the bottoms in on this one. Softening the bottoms once again. Now we're going to leave this to dry, then we'll put the front side on of those mountains. Okay, now the shadow side of the mountains is dried. What we can do is move on to the front side, and once again with some clean water, just going to wet the mountain, leaving some white patches as well. It's just to give the impression of a hint of snow. Okay, what I've done, I've taken some of the shadow side colour and I've just weakened it off and added a little bit more cobalt blue just to bring it onto a blue cast. You won't see this on this side, some trees will go in there. Soften the edges in. And once again we leave this to dry. It's a bit like layering a cake. You have to put one coat on, then on top of that another coat. And if you have patience, you'll get it right. Okay, now your mountains are dry and you've got the shadow side in and you've got the front side in. This is cobalt blue, French ultramarine and sepia, and it's quite a watery mix because I think just darken it a little bit more. This one is for this mountain here. And the reason why it's watery, I want this to stand back. Side in, take any excess moisture off, paint. Remember to shape your mountain with your brush strokes. And as your brush runs out of paint, you can scrumble it, get the paint to break like it does in oil paint. And I want to leave that one like that. Then once again I'm going to strengthen this up as we come forward. So I'm just adding some of a thicker mixture of that colour, cobalt blue, French ultramarine and sepia. Just slightly dark. I think we'll start with this one. Just check it for strength. Just take some excess off. Once again, just coming around the front and putting the front edge on. Just move on to the closest one, a little bit more. Strengthen the paint once again. Thickening it up. some edges in now that the brush has run out of paint. Moving round to the front. Once again shaping the direction how the mountain is growing. Softening off one or two edges. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Maybe just a few here. Just takes the hard lines out of your background mountains. Then with some clean water, we'll move into the background trees. Maybe some bushes here, so we'll just re-wet this bit as well. Go around your tree, just keep that clean. I've just added some water to that mountain mixture, and we're just going to touch the top of these fir trees in, or evergreens, depends how you want to name them. And I'm pulling it into the water. Just leaving the tops of some of these just showing through. And we'll just create some mist. Clean brush, damp once again. Soften the bottom of these fir trees off. Just creating a little mist before we put the next layer in. And I think we can put the bush in that's here. Just a little stronger. Softening that in as well. And I'm just moving some of your mountain mixture over to this one. Some people have a lot of trouble making the greens, so with all your sky and your mountain colours basically all being the same, they're just a different value. All you need to do, because the mountain mixture contains the blue and it also contains the brown, which helps to dull a green when you put the wrong colour actually of yellow in, but I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to take some of the right colour, cabin yellow light. The moment I pop it in there, as you can see, I've got my green. And I want a light green for this one because I'm just going to put some highlights in so we don't lose it. I'm just wondering whether, I think it needs a touch more yellow just to bring it up a little bit. And we'll just begin to put the highlights on some of these. And with it being cadmium yellow, it's an opaque colour, which makes it quite handy for sitting on top of other colours or used on its own. Don't just drop this colour anywhere, think about the edge and how the foliage is formed. And I'm just adding it in where I want the highlights to be. Being as we really can't put highlights over the top of the dark, we have to think in reverse. I'm going to leave this to dry. Okay, I've got the board at a slight angle and we're going to put the last set of fir trees in. So just wet around where they're going to be. Then with the same mixture once again, just start above the waterline. Just pull it into the water. Okay, I think I'll put some rocks in here now, so what I'm going to use for this is some Naples yellow. And we're just going to drop some colours into that. An umber. And then into that, an umber French ultramarine and sepia. Same along here on the shoreline. And we'll just see how this will come off. This is a oil painting craft knife, paint mixing knife, sorry. And we'll just scrape the tops of some rocks in here. I've just mixed some of the sky colour and the darks into this yellow here, just to turn it a green colour, a green cast, and then we can come back in. Very dark green, this is almost a black colour kind of thing. Same on this side. Then with the rigger brush, just run a couple of branches in. Just put this branch in while I'm here. And now I want to leave this to dry. Okay, now that nearly everything's dry, re-wet the lake area. And it's just the sky colours in here, French ultramarine, cobalt blue with a hint of burnt umber. Don't want it too strong in areas. All horizontal strokes. Just a little reflection of the trees along the shoreline. Just pulling through it with a rigger brush. Just using some of the colour up that I've got on the palette. Reflection here, burnt umber. Maybe even a tiny bit of green. Just a hint of cad yellow light. And I've just re-wet this area here. I think it needs a little something in it, so just grey some of that green down. I thought we might have the makings of a bush. Bring some of the colour down. Just even a little bit of the sky colour into the bush. French ultramarine and sepia, and I'm just going to put just a couple of evergreens in there. No detail in these. I'm going to put this tree in, burnt umber, French ultramarine, and I'm going to leave some areas open for snow. Now an even darker mix, French ultramarine and sepia. Being careful not to hit the wet side here. And now I have to let this dry off a little bit so we can put the last fir tree in here. So we don't want it to run into the lake area, so we'll just leave that for the moment. Now that the water area is dry, we can just put the top of this evergreen in, or fir tree. Once again, same dark mixture. Soften it off at the bottom. It's a dark here and there. Soften the hard edges off. Then back in to tidy this edge of the tree up. Or as Bob would say, big strong tree. Just soften it in and around. Straightforward cadmium yellow. Soften one or two of these edges in. Just have a little dark in here. And with a ruler and a craft knife, we're just going to put in some wind streaks along the water. Try to make sure that it's level. Forgive my arm. I think we'll have one just about here, I think. And then we get round to the best bit. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's a Bob Ross in watercolour called Graceful Mountains. If you have enjoyed it, please click the like button and subscribe. Subscribing costs you nothing. And should you wish to view any other painting videos that I've made for YouTube, I think there's over 100 now. I'll leave a link in the description box, and if you click on that, it will take you straight to them. So once again, thank you very much for watching.